Oh, it's the Date Master. Yes, we're back. We're back with another banger here, fresh off a nice hiatus, like I usually do. But I got two for you today. We're gonna break down today, right now. We're looking at transactional relationships and how men end up paying for a companionship. Then women will argue that this happens on the woman's side, of course. Later on down the line, when they hit the wall, they're extra 60 to 80 pounds heavier than when they were in high school, sometimes even double what they were in high school. They end up, in some cases, having to pay for companionship. Now, we look at these transactional relationships, and we've already debunked and pretty much exposed that women do not love men without any conditions. It is a very rare, and usually it may happen once, maybe twice in their life where they will meet a guy that imprints on them. Twice is very rare. Twice is very rare. So this one guy that she meets, he doesn't have to pay a fee. The only fee he has to pay is pretty much his personality, his presence, his charisma, everything that makes him him. He doesn't have to do backbreaking labor. He doesn't have to risk his life. He doesn't have to trap. He doesn't have to do these things for these women to acknowledge him or to desire him. Now, looking at the dynamic of most relationships, and today you have to go on these dates. You have to be a court jester. You have to meet all of these prerequisites that these women have given you. Our society in the West has indoctrinated both man and woman to be very destructive to their own futures, their lives, and their relationships. They have taught you how to destroy. And women and men alike have both adopted these concepts to where the only way a relationship actually lasts is if you pay for it. And even then, it still doesn't last, because just because you sleep and lay with a person every night does not mean you're with them. You're in a relationship, but that does not mean you're happy. It does not mean this person fulfills you. It does not mean that you have a genuine desire for that person. You're just in a transactional relationship. You've locked into the mortgage now, so that has to be paid. You've locked into the car notes and the financing. Those things have to be paid. Imagine being in a situation where a woman does not truly love you. Imagine that. And you know this, but you try to bury it with pride. A lot of men are in dead relationships, dead end relationships. We already told you the recipe. The one thing that will save and reset this whole issue, men are afraid to accept and embrace, and women are scared shitless, which is why they fight tooth and nail, scouring social media to make sure that anything that they see that contradicts the system in which they have adopted, the mindset in which they've adopted, the feminist ideologies in which they've adopted, they're going to fight tooth and nail to silence them. They're going to go and get petitions. Kevin Samuels, Tommy Sotomayor, Andrew Tate. They're going to go and get petitions, make up lies and rumors to silence the message, which cripples their easy, their way on their free pass on easy street. When the men take back their masculinity and say, "I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that. This is what I am. This is who I am. This is what I stand on. You got to meet these requirements. If you don't, then adios." Because the smart ones get it. The smart ones get it. But men are too primal. They're too primal. They're filled with too much testosterone that it clouds their logic. In a lot of cases, they just think with their dicks. Men control relationships. Women control sex and birth. Men control relationships, women control sex and birth, which is essentially the same thing. But men have forfeited that power when it comes to relationships as well as sex. You're paying for companionship. You're paying this woman that still doesn't matter that you're paying her to be with you. It doesn't even matter that you're paying her. She still doesn't give a shit about you. She still takes you for granted. She's still faking in the bed with you because you're not that guy. And we as men, when you tap into this, when you tap in with the Most High, you intentionally align yourself, your senses are going to become heightened because they have to be. You don't know the day nor the hour in which the Most High will say, okay, your work is done, come on back, or I have another place for you to go. So when your senses are heightened, you have, at that very moment, you have identified the Most High has tapped you on the shoulder with a purpose. He has tapped you on the shoulder with some identity. So do not talk yourself out of what you know. You know things are not right, yet you will just sit and lay in it and deal with it, because to break it up is to strike your own ego, because you got to go back and tell your homeboys, the homies, my bitch was out of pocket and I caught her. You got to go back and tell the homies, my chick doesn't really love me. She just loves what I bring to the table. She loves the stability that I bring. She doesn't love me for her. She doesn't know what makes me tick. She doesn't really know what has broken or made me. She just know that that thing has made me capable of doing what I'm able to do today. Transactional relationships. See, men, we have a gender war going on with each other and the opposite sex, the women, which I feel in my kindest of hearts that women will ultimately win in this land, because you men have become super weak. You have to lie to your women about wanting other women. You have to lie about it in order for her to buy into you. You not knowing that she's doing this on purpose. She has to isolate you from the other women because she has to make sure that you're invested in her so she can let her hair down. Just notice, again, all you have to do is look on social media. Just look at the number of posts in which women say that they're tired about anything. I had a rough day, a long day, I'm tired of being independent. Just go and count the posts that you see where these women are saying they're tired. These women are not built for the marathon. They're built for sprints. They have a short window of beauty in which they can optimize and get usually any man that they would like in a lot of cases, because they date up. We don't. We are the up. I'm going to say that again. Men cannot date up because we are the up. And here they go. This is when they try to start counting pockets, fake currencies, fiat money. Let's reset it and go back to foundational society, civilization, where money, social media, policing, etc. was really not a thing. Government supervision was really not a thing. You had to get it out the mud. All of that shit falls to the wayside. The number one thing a man can do for a woman is provide and protect her. There is no currency. There is no salary that trumps that. You can be a billionaire without any skills in fighting, using a gun, building something, etc. So you are with a woman who doesn't even understand that. Men do not date up because we are the up. Women date up. This is why they cheat up. And I know you hear a lot of my videos that include infidelity. And let me tell you why that is, because infidelity has a special psychology on both ends. On one end, let's say the cheater pretty much comes to find out that they have an attraction for another person. The cheater finds out that the grass may be greener, not due to their own research, but due to outside influences. So they stick their toe in that water because their friends are doing it. It may work for me. Some of them do it out of necessity. They have no skills, no guidance, no direction, but they have to survive. So they use their body as a ATM. They use their body as an ATM. This also is a influence in your typical relationship. This is something that's normal. You have these women really thinking that men have to pay them for sex. The oldest institution is prostitution. But that comes from the weak man, the man that has fallen victim to his lust, fallen victim to his own desires. You have beautiful women that have walked the earth for thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. This is nothing new. Yet today's modern man sees a fine woman and loses his fucking mind. He throws temper tantrums on the internet because he got ghosted. He throws these fits because women are not just laying at his fucking feet. He's a fool. He think a woman just supposed to lay down when he say so. Where do you guys get this shit from? Now go to the other party, the cheated. Know that they're being cheated on. Know that they have been cheated on, but they'll just turn a blind eye because, again, I have a presence and I have a position to uphold. I cannot tell the world that my woman has sought pleasure elsewhere. If you cannot find peace and harmony and protection in your own relationship, why are you there? If this relationship is not fulfilling you, why are you there? Notice how I said relationship, not marriage. Marriage is a different thing. Relationship is what I'm speaking on at this point, because that usually will grow into the marriage, because at that point, it's no longer about the relationship. It is about what the relationship has now done and can do when it comes to children, when it comes to legacy, when it comes to pretty much being a value in the world, in society. What are we doing together? You got people in relationships, they don't do anything together but swap out duties for children. They have no businesses together. They have no projects together, nothing together that is bearing fruit. They both go to their separate jobs. They bring a check and say, I made this, you made that. This is how much the house costs, power, car notes, insurance, all of that. You're in a transactional relationship, which is why you feel the need to go and cheat, because you want to go and feel genuinely desired by the opposite sex. Some cases, even the same sex, for those who dibble and dabble. But for the most part, you cheat because you want to feel desired and you don't want your salary held over your head. You don't want what you own held over your head. You don't want the money that you make, the access to networks that you have held over your head as a tool to make you, okay, I'll fuck them. You're in a transactional relationship. This is the whole purpose of treating. It is the thrill of excitement, and it's also the hunger and thirst to be genuinely desired with no strings attached. I don't want to have to pay the $1,200 house note so you'll fuck me tonight. I don't want to have to get your hair and nails done so you'll have sex with me tonight. Take you to Fleming so you'll look at me as valuable. People just really want that genuine desire from the opposite sex. This is why your money does not matter. Get your money, but your money is simply a tool. And I've said this in plenty of videos. Your money should be used as a tool and a resource. This is nothing that makes you more attractive, which we know it does, but I'm speaking purely biological, physical. All that money doesn't mean a thing. You see these scandals come out all the time. Your money doesn't mean shit. Science, biology, Your money does not influence that in the least. But you guys let me know what you think about this video, talking transactional relationships, paying for companionship. Before I close it out, I'm gonna go a little bit more in depth into the paying for companionship. You know, you have to be present. You have to fit a mold. You have to meet this certain look, aesthetic. So when you go out with your chick and hope, and you end up running into her friends appraise you. Did you know this, fellas? Her friends are going to appraise you. He does look good. Oh, he is tall. Oh, he does have it. This makes her look good. This is why she dates up. And in most cases, the older they get, they date the best they can. And women, I have a shocking revelation for you. You'll win the battle. I want to put that more in context. You'll win the battle, but ultimately, men won't even. You think you're going to just find someone to ride it out with? No, I don't even want to be married. Marriage is not even a goal for me. Okay. Well, go put yourself on whatever prostitute sites. Go move to Vegas and just street walk and get your bread. Take the middleman out. Fellas, you must know that these women do not really want relationships with you. They just want the benefits that come with the relationship. It's the Date Master.